Quote, I am pleased to inform you that I have just named General Secretary John F. Kelly as White House Chief of Staff. He is a great American. He continued, I would like to thank Reince Priebus for his service and dedication to his country. We accomplished a lot together, and I am proud of him. Priebus's replacement, John Kelly, was the Secretary of Homeland Security. That means the White House will have to find someone to replace him. A lot to talk about here. Let's bring in Face the Nation host John Dickerson to chat about it. John, first I want to talk about messaging coming out of the White House. Okay, it's been a week now that we've had the new communications director, Anthony Scaramucci. If the mission was to get Russia on the back burner, mission accomplished. What's the reaction now from folks there on the Hill about Reince Priebus being out?
Well, that's true. People are not at the moment talking about Russia. I'm not sure that the replacement conversation that's going on is much better for the president. The mission was really not to get Russia off the back burner, but to get the country focused on the president's agenda, which it is not focused on at the moment. And the lack of focus in the White House is in part contributed to the fact that the Affordable Care Act replacement did not pass through the Senate. So the question is now whether the White House problems that have been kind of ratified by this staff shakeup can be solved by changing the names in those positions. Secretary Kelly, who comes over from the Department of Homeland Security, said, you know, we serve. That's what the Kellys do in another context when he was asked about serving. And so he is now going into a position which is, you know, he's run big, complicated things before with high skill, so that should serve him. But the problem is that this is not like the military. And there are a lot of, as we saw in the interview with Scaramucci this week within the New Yorker, there's a lot of other stuff that goes on in a White House, hard to get a handle on. So it'll be fascinating to see how this plays out and if it's possible to bring some order to the White House. You know,
Reince Priebus, as the former now chief of staff and former head of the RNC, he was really this bridge between the White House and the moderate Republicans on Capitol Hill. So now with that gone, does it potentially make the president's job a lot harder to build these relationships and bridges with the Hill?
Well, it depends. That bridge did not help him pass health care and has not really helped in any particular way. The president has not done anything terribly innovative in working with his own party or with Democrats. So you could imagine a clean slate, perhaps trying a whole new approach with the Hill. So we'll just have to see. I mean, basically the challenge is that he faces a narrow margin in the Senate, and he faces a political popularity that is quite low. And a lot of members of Congress scratch their heads at the president's behavior, and so therefore don't feel a real political pull to his power. And that makes them go off and do their own things. And no matter who your chief of staff is, you can't change that.
And John, last thing real quick. This is a new development just unfolding here within the past hour. Are we getting any reaction from the Republicans on the Hill about this?
Not at the moment. You'll have a lot of people who Reince Priebus helped in their political careers, so he has a lot of allies, including Speaker Ryan. But you know, the Republicans on the Hill want the White House to work and be helpful to their cause. So they'll probably all be very much in favor of this change.
All right, 10:30 Sunday morning, right here on WUSA 9. John Dickerson with Face the Nation. As always, my friend, thank you.
Thanks.